Now on CoastTV News.
Cool Spring Clash, a major development could reshape Sussex County. We'll show you who's for it, who's fighting it, and why. Traffic tactics, a controversial fix for Bay Bridge traffic is making a comeback. What to expect this summer. And past or progress, a statue once removed could return to Kent County. Why it's stirring up strong opinions.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Divided over development. The future for this plot of land sparking a lot of mixed opinions today. Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with plans for thousands of homes and commercial space off of Route 9. And here is the area we're talking about. It's north of Route 9 and off Cool Spring Road. The entire development would go up to Hudson Road and north to Walker Road. It's one of the largest development proposals in years, Cool Spring Crossing. It was the topic of discussion for hours today in a Sussex County Planning and Zoning meeting. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken was there. She breaks down the details.
I'm standing on the land that was the topic of conversation for about 6 hours today at a Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It's the Cool Spring Crossing development, and it's 637 acres of land. We heard from multiple groups and individuals on both sides of this argument today. Some people in favor included Dr. Tam with BB Health saying this would bring more housing to medical staff, and a YMCA representative who says this would increase recreation. But we heard some emotional stories from people opposing this development too, including multiple neighboring communities that have started petitions with hundreds of signatures, and Sussex County Preservation Coalition, all of them citing concerns over traffic with it being right near Route 9, and concerns over quality of life. And we heard from DelDOT several times throughout the day today. They were sharing their plans with the commission, their analysis of what a development this massive could mean for the future of Sussex County. Now let's take a look at some of the details. The developer is applying for several zoning changes on these 637 acres for plans including more than 1,900 units in 7 villages and different types of housing, some single family, some multi-family units. There are also plans for a grocery store, a bank, a convenience store with gas, restaurants, retail stores, a hotel, an art or theater center, and a modern YMCA. There's a few proposals for the property, but this large plan as a whole is dependent on the developer's request to change the land use map. We spoke with some people today, and they have some fears about a development this massive.
Our community is really upset. When I was taking our petition around, several people told me they were thinking about leaving the area because of the overdevelopment. It's not what people moved here for, right?
No decision was made today about this land. The Sussex Planning and Zoning Commission decided to keep the record open for 10 days, but we'll be following this story, and as we learn more, we'll keep you guys updated with what we know. Reporting in Sussex County, Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
Now it's worth noting this comes as Sussex County considers several other major developments, including Belle Mead. It's a proposed mixed-use complex with apartments and retail space planned for 30 acres along Route 24. That's next to Beacon Middle School near Lewis. And North Star, it's a 400-acre subdivision proposed west of Lewis. That's near Route 9 and Beaver Dam Road. All of this brings us to our CoastTV poll tonight. We want to know, what is your biggest takeaway on the Cool Spring Crossing project? Let's take a look at the results. Definitely some mixed opinions here. 77% though saying more traffic. 13% say less farmland. 5% say new assisted living, educational facility with some, and more affordable housing, also getting some of the percentage there. We also have a comment tonight. It's from Kenneth in Milton. He says he lives in Lazy Lake, just across from it. He feels he should have more of a say in it, saying no one there wants the development and it's going to make the traffic impossible. We want to know what you guys think. You can leave a comment yourself. You can also vote. It's not too late. Just go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Also, Sussex County discussing Taros, a homeless village, in their meeting this afternoon. They approved recommendations that will now be sent to the Sussex County Council. Some of the conditions include Taros being limited to 28 tents, and it's only seasonal. They can only have it until Code Purple reopens on December 1st. Mike Agnew, the man working to bring Taros to life, he says he has his own conditions for people living there this time around.
One of the requirements for Teros will be, unless you're receiving Social Security or some other kind of a disability benefit, you're going to be working. If you're not employed, then you're going to be volunteering.
And the County Council will vote on whether to move Teros forward on June 17th. Now we're taking a live look outside into Lewis, and our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us with the check on our First Alert weather. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing all right, and so is the weather right now. We're just staying kind of quiet. Now, overall, we're going to be watching out for a chance of rain that's going to develop on Friday, but Thursday is looking pretty nice, to be quite honest. I mean, right now we're going into the rest of the night with 59 temperatures near the 60-degree mark. We'll have increasing cloud cover in place, but no threat of rain. Now, we started off at 53 degrees this morning in Georgetown, 50 for the starting point in Salisbury as well as Ocean City, and we're in the upper 50s to low 60s right now. 61 in Seaford, 60 degrees right now in Gumboro, Del Mar, Laurel, as well as Bridgeville, 58 in Long Neck, 62 degrees right now, Bethany Beach. We're looking pretty clear with the skyline. Even with few clouds we had in place, not really dancing across the seams as of right now. Now we're starting to see a low pressure system that's beginning to develop on the other side of Richmond with and it's going to be slow developing. But as far as the rest of this evening is concerned, winds are going to stay relatively calm, primarily moving out of the north. But look how we're going to stay in the 50s until we get into the 9 o'clock hour, because by that time we'll start seeing temperatures rebounding nicely into the 70s. Now coming up, we're going to talk about the timing and the possibility of that rain in your forecast. Until then, back to you, Christina.
All right, thank you, Paul. Well, what was once a bank in Ocean City is now a place that people can walk in and go back in time. After nearly a year and a half of construction, the new Museum of Ocean City, it's now open to the public. On the first level of the museum, the left side features the history of downtown Ocean City, stories from people that used to live there in the past, and then the right side is dedicated to restaurants and hotels that have played a key role in Ocean City. In the center, there's a safe that was kept there from when it was once a bank. One visitor that we spoke with today, she couldn't believe what she found at the museum. It was the very hotel that her grandfather helped renovate back in the 70s.
My family found this store pretty exciting. This is the Mayflower Hotel. There's a postcard of it, of a picture, and dining room place setting that we remember eating on.
Now, if you want to go up to the second level to the research library, you do have to make an appointment. Once you make an appointment, you can then see hundreds of archives from the past. Well, Delaware Democrats introduced a bill in March. It would restrict the Delaware DMV from sharing people's citizenship or immigration status with law enforcement. It's meant for people who have what's called a driving privilege card. Now, if House Bill 60 becomes law, the DMV would only be able to share information from these drivers with the approval of Delaware's Attorney General, a valid court order, or for voter registration purposes. One woman who we spoke to today who wanted to remain anonymous is from Mexico. She told us she's thankful the bill is being considered.
Knowing that there's people in the Delaware government that is trying to pass a law that is going to protect our information, that's a blessing for all the people that have this card.
Now, Representative Claire Snyder Hall for the 14th District is one of the co-sponsors of the House bill. It's now ready to be considered by the full state House. Well, a plan aimed at alleviating traffic congestion in one part of Queen Anne's County will return this summer. It's the Ramp Management Program. It began last summer, and it keeps westbound Bay Bridge drivers on Route 50 instead of taking exits as shortcuts. If they do, then they're redirected back to Castle Marina Road. A study from last summer found weekend travel time decreased from 52 minutes in 2023 to 43 minutes in 2024. But some locals still have mixed opinions on how well it really worked.
I think it went very well. I noticed a significant decrease in the traffic around here. There was still a lot of buildup, people coming on from exits before they got closed. But it was significantly better.
But double back and getting into traffic and waiting to go, I just think it's terrible for people that live here.
The program will begin May 18th and continue until Labor Day. It will be from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday through Sunday and holidays. Well, black smoke was seen emanating from the Sistine Chapel chimney this evening. That means no new pope was elected on the first and only ballot at the papal conclave today. Reporter Barbie Nadeau is in Rome with the latest developments.
Black smoke poured from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel on day one of the conclave. The time-honored tradition means no one was elected as the new pope Wednesday. 133 cardinals are gathered in Vatican City to choose the next leader of the Catholic Church, following the death of Pope Francis last month. The Holy Mass ahead of the conclave opened with the procession of cardinals. Each of them swore an oath of secrecy. First to swear the individual oath was Cardinal Pietro Parolin of Italy.
And I, Pietro, Cardinal Parolin, promise, pledge, and swear, may God help me as well as these holy gospels that with my hand I do touch.
Parolin has served as Vatican Secretary of State since early in France's papacy and is one of the cardinals considered as a possible candidate for a pope. But it will take 2/3 majority to be chosen, and achieving the minimum 89 votes may take time.
Keep us in your prayers. I mean that. I'm so moved and grateful for the many assurances and prayers that you've been so graciously offering up to the Lord on our behalf.
As Catholics wait for the white smoke to billow into the sky, signaling the selection of the new pope, those nearby are sharing their hopes for the new leader.
Someone that's very much like Francis was. Humble.
I'm hoping that this pope will be more like St. Pope John Paul II and lead the church and unify the church and just be a lovely shepherd for all of us. We need it.
Barbie Nadeau reporting from Rome.
And we are just getting started this evening. Coming up next, upgrades halted. Delaware's Legislative Hall will not be expanded for now, but which part of the project is still happening? And also a statue standoff. A push to bring back Caesar Rodney sparks new debate in Kent County.
For Cambridge, 78 degrees on Thursday and nice sunshine, but the rain kicks in on Friday with a chance of a thunderstorm for Cambridge and Crisfield. Does that apply for the rest of the peninsula? Your full forecast is coming up. Well, we take a look at what's happening with our forecast, and I'm booting my computer up a little bit later. It's acting funny. Give me 1 second, folks. Don't you love live TV? Here we go. All right. Act like that didn't happen, okay? All right, here we go. Hi, here's your look at your forecast. We're at 57 degrees in Long Neck right now, 59 in Georgetown, 61 in Seaford, as well as Laurel, 59 degrees right now in Delmar. We are expecting to stay nice and clear for Thursday without holding a problem, and the winds have now begun to really die down. Relatively calm, although still gently pushing from the south right now. We're only measuring about a 6-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Indian River Inlet. Live radar is indicating just how off the board the clouds are for right now. We're just staying absolutely clear at this point, and that's going to continue to be our pattern for most of the night. Now, we're starting to see a couple of troughs beginning to develop just to our west. Not an ominous situation that we have to be mindful or fearful of, but that we're going to see a little bit of mixing happen in the upper atmosphere, probably about 24 to 36 hours away. As far as tonight is concerned, listen, we're going to drop back to 57 degrees in Lewis, Rehoboth, as well as Long Neck. We'll dip to 55 for the overnight low in Selbyville, Ocean Pines, and in Willards near Highway 50. Tomorrow we open up with lots of sunshine, the winds blowing out of the south, and we'll have temperatures approaching the 80-degree mark in most locations that you go the farther inland you go. For example, we're at 71 Rehoboth. That's not inland, that's right there on the beach. But 79 for the high, and Seaford 78 for Laurel. We switch over towards Cambridge. We're looking at 81 in Vienna, 78 in Cambridge, 80 in Easton. And we're expecting 78 Pocomoke City, 77 for the high in Snow Hill, as well as Berlin, and 72 for Ocean City. So let's talk about our expectations for Friday. 5 o'clock in the morning, we'll have temperatures at 61 right along the highway from Snow Hill, Newark, and Berlin. Now, our latest run is showing that we'll have a splash of rain that's going to show up briefly, like a cameo appearance in a Marvel movie, briefly, and then it's out of here rather quickly. And then we go into Saturday morning, we dip back into the 50s. Now, as far as the more northern portions of our viewing area for all of Sussex, we start off cloudy skies for us in the afternoon. We'll see sprinkles begin to move through Ellendale, and then by the afternoon hours, we'll see a hitting quick hit of rain that's going to move in and out relatively rapidly, actually. But we will maintain that 60% chance of rain for Friday. But then we take a look at the amount of rain that we're expecting, and it's still hovering at 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Not much rain at all. Here's a wider view of this. A quick splash for us for Thursday evening, but here's Friday early morning rain here. Low pressure system that's spinning right here. It'll spin through very quickly. We'll have another wave that'll push through at 5 o'clock. Then after that, we're done. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast, where we'll clear out nicely in time for Mother's Day.
Thanks again, Paul. Well, a long-standing debate over honoring historical figures has resurfaced. The Caesar Rodney statue, it was removed from Wilmington in 2020. It's now being considered for relocation to Kent County. Delaware State Senator Eric Buxton wants it returned, saying Rodney's midnight ride to cast the tie-breaking vote for American independence is a story worth celebrating, but not everyone agrees. Critics argue that honoring someone with ties to slavery overlooks painful truths, while Buxton insists it's part of remembering our history.
And yes, that history can be challenging. It's not perfect, but I think that's how you tell history. You don't erase it, you don't ignore it, you don't wash it over. You present it and you allow the facts to speak for themselves.
And Buxton says his resolution does not specify where the statue has to be placed. He says he's hopeful that the General Assembly can find the most suitable place to display this big part of Delaware's history. Also in Dover, plans to expand Delaware's Legislative Hall are officially off the table. Lawmakers voted to suspend the multi-million-dollar project because of a tightening state budget and federal funding cuts. The plan included new hearing rooms, office space, and a tunnel to a new parking garage. But as of now, the parking garage is still on. CoastTV News at 11. We'll be right back.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Well, it looks like nonstop flights from Salisbury to Orlando are just months away. Today, the big announcement, Breeze Airways will begin service in October. Flights will be available twice a week on Mondays and Fridays. One-way fares will start as low as $59 and go up to around $115. That's depending on how many checked bags you have or carry-ons. Local officials say it's a significant moment, not just for Wicomico County, but the entire Eastern Shore.
This is going to open up a whole bounty of opportunities for new business growth, and it's going to certainly help existing businesses, our hospitality industry, restaurants. So, more to come, but I think this is a big deal.
And airport staff say a grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation helped make this possible. It provided $800,000 to attract and get a new airline up and running at the Salisbury Airport. And speaking of airports, passengers flying in and out of Newark Liberty Airport in New Jersey are dealing with massive delays and cancellations. It's one of the busiest airports in the country, and because of that, the disruptions are having a domino effect on travel. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan explains the air travel problems nationwide and what your rights are as a passenger.
Major flight disruptions at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey are having a ripple effect on air travel across the country, just weeks ahead of the busy summer travel season.
My flight was delayed 5 hours.
The airline chaos at Newark is stretching into a second week. The disruptions are being caused by a variety of issues, from runway construction to more serious problems like a shortage of air traffic controllers.
The individuals who run this system daily perform quiet, heroic acts in spite of a system that is built to set them up for failure.
The shortage of air traffic controllers is a nationwide problem. Last week, Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said air traffic control was about 3,000 controllers short. While the Trump administration is offering bonuses and higher salaries, the training and hiring process can take months.
A certified professional controller has many, many years of training. You just don't do that overnight.
So what should you do if your flight is impacted by this? Expedia Group travel expert Melanie Fish says it's important to know your passenger rights.
When a flight is canceled, even because of the weather, the airline has to refund you if you decide that that's what you want.
Fish recommends downloading your airline's app and calling the airline to rebook.
You will get notifications much faster than standing in line to talk to customer service about your options for booking another flight.
Passengers can always ask for meal vouchers and hotel vouchers, but it's up to each airline to decide if they want to give them out. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Coming up in sports tonight, we'll take a look at some of the top games in Delaware today. We also preview the newest episode of Into the Trenches, the Wildcat Legacy.
We salute Millie Powers. Millie Powers proudly served in the Army Nurse Corps from January 1943 to July 1946, providing critical care to wounded soldiers during World War II. Her service took her across multiple countries, where her compassion and skill helped countless heroes in their time of need. Millie is a true inspiration and a shining example of courage, dedication, and selfless service. We honor her as both a healer and a hero.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
In health news tonight, you could call it the future of early breast cancer detection. New technology being developed at MIT, it would give women the ability to monitor their own health in their own home. As reporter Priscilla Casper explains, this smart bra even traveled to space on Blue Origin.
Just think, women, the next time you put on a bra, you could be checking your health and getting the results within seconds.
This is the ultimate goal that we would like to do, in which you have the ultrasound beams inside with flexible electronics, and it is placed in kind of a, I would say, insole.
Associate Professor Canan Dagdeverin and her team at the MIT Media Lab are pioneering new wearable ultrasound technology that fits in a specifically made bra for early breast cancer detection, featuring a breast patch and magnets to hold the scanner in place. It's comfortable, and one scan costs less than $3.
You have black and white image, and all these things are happening within sub-seconds. And then the picture is sent to your computer or phone, and then to cloud. Then your medical doctor can see an AI-supported report to see what's happening.
And this is personal to her. She lost her aunt to breast cancer at 49 years old, 6 months after receiving the diagnosis following a regular routine mammogram screening.
I was spending her last 12 days with her, and one day, just to relax her as an engineer, I sat by her bedside and took a piece of paper and sketched an ultrasound bra and asking feedback from my aunt.
That out-of-this-world idea sketch taking new heights. The technology was most recently tested on Harvard grad Amanda Wen as she traveled to space on Blue Origin's all-female crew mission.
She was very kind enough to get our technology and check how this technology is going to function in microgravity, and our hope to collect a lot of data, and by using the AI to predict what will happen to the breast tissue over time.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
We had an exciting day of spring sports on Delmarva, and we'll give you a taste of how a couple matchups ended up. In girls lacrosse, Dover made the trip up north to face off against Delaware Military Academy, and the Senators battled, keeping it close through the first, but DMA got stronger as this one went along. They pulled out a 13-5 win. And at Smyrna High School, Sussex Academy made the trip to face off against the Eagles. 3 different players had at least a hat trick in a strong showing. Lily Basaha led the way at 5 goals. Sussex Academy rolled to a 19-4 road victory. Last week on Into the Trenches, we saw how the offseason work paid off for the Cape Henlopen Vikings, culminating in a victory over Red Lion in their first game of the season. Now let's take a look at how the Vikings prepared for the game ahead in Episode 3 of Into the Trenches, A New Voyage.
On the next Into the Trenches.
Not a lot of kids get to hang out with their dad as much as I do.
It's difficult, and I would caution people who coach their kids.
I felt a lot of pressure, man. It was our first home game.
Tonight will probably be the most crowded home opener in years. What are you going to do to sacrifice for your brother?
Into the Trenches, A New Voyage on the Delmarva Sports Network and DSN Plus, Sponsored by Preston Automotive.
That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Well, the Golden Globes is adding another award category, Best Podcast of the Year. It expands the Golden Globes from honoring the best in film and TV. The organization says the podcast category will recognize audio and video podcasts that have made a significant impact over the previous year. There will be 6 nominees chosen among the top 25 most popular podcasts, and the award will debut at the 2026 Golden Globes in January.
So let's take a look at what's happening on Milford. Bay Health camera, we're looking at 59 degrees actually. It will drop down to 60 pretty quickly for us with increasing cloud cover throughout our neck of the woods. Now also keeping in mind that overall we are seeing that our expectation for the temperatures to stay on the mild side will continue to play out for us. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner, Annette Koneman of Denton, congratulations. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandela's, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. 78 degrees on Thursday. Friday, scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms kick in for us. And then on Mother's Day, we'll warm to 80 degrees.
Alrighty, thanks again, Paul, and thanks so much for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For some more local news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, that's up next. We'll see you back tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.